God, it's Tuesday. Pull up a seat, talking Commanders football, drinking our whiskey neat. First Amendment sports, Ken, Kevin, and Tim. Don't muff it up, fellas, hail to the Redskins. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday, here on First Amendment Sports.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you and welcome to Tuesday night. I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
Well, thank you, Ken. Basement looks great. We went to the flip side.
Went to the upside down.
Totally on the other side of the room. You guys wouldn't know that, but
I was going to say
the whiskey is cold, and we didn't win or lose last week, so I'm ready for a brand new beginning, like a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight.
Picture yourself about 10 feet to the left.
It's crazy.
That's what's
Very
happening
weird.
right now. It looks
great.
I needed to get organized, and
You really opened up the space. You've been watching those shows.
It ties the room together.
God, tell you what.
I think goals have to be like a super comfortable place to lay flat, which I didn't have before.
That's a fair goal.
At least one like money straight on loungeable seat of the TV that you can play video games
Thank God.
in.
I thought you were going to say the money shot. Well played. A money chair.
And, it's got to, multiple people have to be comfortable. Now, obviously, it's a basement, and not everyone comes here thinking they're going to be, it's not like freaking, the Ritz. But, and so, all the equipment was in the way, and, we just, we had to, and I told you, I think there's a lot of people out there who are the same way. And by the way, this has nothing to do with New Year's. This could have been, April 19th, and it could have happened. Just get to the point where you see the same shit piled up high, and
Pile of shit.
So I was thinking, tell me if this is something that you appreciate.
High pile of shit. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So much more room for activities.
So much room for activities.
It's you're gonna put that one up on the wall. That was not me. I'm not taking credit for that one.
So I just throw stuff in a pile, and I have oftentimes leaned on heavily an individual, a very specific person for most of the things and problems I've faced, and his name is Future Ken. At any given time, I think to myself, there's one guy for this job.
Make a compliment. I'm scared. Flexing these cheeks.
These are
Ken?
Future Ken.
Oh, super Future Ken.
Future Ken, no super involved. Just a guy
we'll see.
Who's going to be having to deal with my decisions today. Present Ken, current Ken, CK, some people call him.
I don't know that one.
He's just saying, you know what? Let Future Ken handle it. Then all of a sudden, one day, Future Ken walks in the basement, and it's like, oh God, this is like an episode of Hoarders. Maybe we need to get on top of this. That's all. That's all that happens.
So, well, you know what? I understand. I don't understand.
By the way, Future Ken still has no idea what's in store for him, and yet there's been
I organize my piles of shit in a sniff test format.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
From front to back.
There you go.
Yep.
In and out. Last in, first out. Not so fast.
I hate when it gets all knocked down and you're like, oh, it all smells like shit.
It's like compost. There's a proper process.
Yeah, there is.
Speaking of compost, our 4-win team this season is making news.
Five.
You know what? I'm sorry, Josh Johnson. I'm sorry, Josh Johnson.
We got 5 on it.
We went 12-5, 5-12. So last week was the Brian Daboll, applause fest. Maybe we sprinkled in between then and now the thought or the idea of a Mike McDaniel. And in that time frame, we had the guy already on staff, the promote from within.
Which we also talked about. Not specifically
him.
We talked about Brian Johnson.
Yes.
Talked about promoting from within, but proceed, sir.
David Blau sitting there. He's been on the staff. The whole idea of hiring Dan Quinn, I thought, because there were other guys that they may have wanted as much, but the whole tipping factor for Quinn was his ability to build a great staff, and he did. He built a great staff, and guys want to work for him. And he's a good coach, and guys feel like they become better coaches around him. And so this guy, David Blau, I think he's been around. He's not fresh faced necessarily. His coaching chops are officially on the line, but the chance to keep Jaden Daniels with the same dude for a third year is pretty great.
Married with the fact, and we'll get into a little bit of it just for brief. 9 years ago today, a young man by the name of Sean McVay was hired out of town. We thought prematurely, I think the whole world did, and turned into one of the greatest coaches in the NFL, arguably history if he keeps it going. Also, from 11 to 13, we had these three guys. We had Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and Mike McDaniel on staff.
Yeah.
DQ down in Atlanta in 2015 and 16 has those same three cats on his staff. And he just thought they were too green, too young, that they wouldn't go anywhere, and he didn't. And I think he learned a little bit. So it's hard to promote from within on that defensive side of the ball. But I think getting David Blau, I like he said it rhymes with plow, because I messed his name up for the last 24 hours. But David Blau.
David
I like
Blau.
it. Blau.
I'm just going to lean over and talk.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool to get a young offensive mind like that. I just think that from what this franchise has lost, because it wasn't just those three guys, those four guys, Raheem Morris and Kevin O'Connell also on staff.
Yeah.
That's 6 dudes right there with, let me check it real quick, 343 wins in the NFL. I mean, shit. We've had 60 since they all left. I mean, they've found so much more winning success outside of the nation's capital. Let's keep this brainiac, if he is such, which I'm not going to bullshit. I had no idea he was, I read a little bit about him, and he was a budding guy. But did you think that he'd be our offensive coordinator? Like, lickety split? Now, as soon as Detroit got involved and Chicago put their nose in, I was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had that feel.
He's a known dude.
I get it. And I understand it because he's got that brain. And I remember him from the show and cheering for his brother, his wife, the sister of and brother-in-law of Christian Gonzalez. You know, that's a pretty neat story. High school sweethearts. But, Ken, this dude has that savant-ish thing that they spoke of, some of these guys.
That's what you want an offensive coordinator.
It's some of these guys we just discussed, and he's right around that same budding. This is how they spoke of those guys, the same way they're speaking of him. And my favorite fun fact about David Blau, he's legitimately a magician. Like, seriously, like a study.
Magicians recognize him as a magician.
He is, I don't want to say like,
a pro.
I don't want to say like he's like, he's a registered magician. That sounds gross.
That's true.
He's really
registered.
Like, I'm talking like this guy is a card trick, sleight of hand. Like, so if you want your young offensive coordinator to be a brainiac, I mean, it's pretty neat that he's a magician. I'm just saying it could come in handy. And the neat part is
he's definitely a trick play guy.
He's a trickster. I mean, I'm not full of shit. He's a creative guy,
trickster.
But it's not the trickster bullshit. It's the trickster like Juwan Jennings hitting Christian McCaffrey last week on a pass. Juwan Jennings was the 5th-rated dual threat quarterback coming out of high school, ranked ahead of Joe Burrow, ranked ahead of Lamar Jackson, and ranked ahead of Sam Darnold. All those dudes were the same class. Kyler Murray was ranked ahead of him.
He knows how to throw the ball.
Juwan Jennings did that because he was a 5-star dual threat headed to Tennessee, had some troubles and stumbles and figured them out and came out on top as a wide receiver. But that's the type of tricks we're talking about.
But it's also the trick is drafting guys
exactly.
like that. Knowing, being smart enough to get him.
Understanding his skill set and utilizing it to the fullest, as opposed to all this stuff that, we think we're supposed to do that. No. The trick play is such a neat part of the game, and we saw it in the playoffs, and a couple teams failed at it. Houston almost cost themselves. But when you see something that you like, and you got a guy like that sees the field that way, it's going to make being a fan a lot more fun.
Yep.
And he's going to do it in a sincere way, kind of the way Ben Johnson has done it, and Dan Campbell over the years.
Has Ben Johnson done it a little dickily? Is it seem?
Well,
but
you can't be a dickily trickle.
He's a kind of dickily.
You can be a dick trickler. You can't be a dickily trickster.
I don't know. He comes off a little.
Well, Dan Campbell got some credit for it because Dan Campbell has done that, for a long time.
I like what Dan Campbell does. But with Ben Johnson is starting to come off as I'm starting to be now. Of course, this is me not having him as head coach, but it's.
I love Dan Campbell, so
I love Dan Campbell, and I'm kind of starting to get
Ben
glad
Johnson
that we don't have Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the trickle part. That's for someone else to determine. I have no use for him because he's not of ours and he's doing well. So I don't like him because he's a dick and he's winning. And no one dislikes someone more than a winning.
That's right.
Whatever you just called him. Trickler. Forget about Greg. Don't take this the wrong way. You don't get all your gigantic undies in a bunch here.
It's taking advantage of people.
We're going to hand the ball off a shit ton in a more traditional way than we've ever done, and that's coming. This new offense is going to be a way more traditional NFL look. I think we all discussed that last week.
More under center, less no huddle. I mean, but that doesn't mean he's not the primary receiver or the quick look isn't going to be the same a lot of times. It's going to be, you still have Terry McLaurin running the way he runs, and you still have,
this is why he's hired the run game. This is why he's hired the run game.
Yep.
This is why he's hired the run game. This is why he's hired the run game. We are no longer going to set up the run with quick passes. We are going to run the ball and set up the play action. We are going to turn our back to the field on occasion after being under center and play action. And we're going to be a little bit different. And I don't know anything else about what we're going to be, but I know that that's what we asked for, and that's why we went and got it. So that's not going to get confused. I have no idea about that. I'm fully confident about that.
Sure.
So other than that, let's not get out of the I think yes, there's a gimmicky offense in the league that no one else runs that our defense has to work against all week long. That's done. The reason why we hired this gentleman is not to run Cliff Kingsbury shit. He is a disciple of many, many big-time offensive minds.
Trad coaches, as we like to call them.
Absolutely.
To use the searchable.
And look, he's going to take his little bits from everyone. Cliff's going to go do his thing, and
So here's the deal: Cliff goes in the meeting with Dan Quinn, and they mutually agree to break up. Not me, not you. Just it's us. So whatever, it ends. I do feel like the one thing. Of course, this is I would have been super fine with him coming back for year 3. I know where
I would have been fine with it too.
Yeah, but the fact that he's gone now, it's like okay, well, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to find the other side. But the truth of the matter is,
Dick Trickle in him while he was here before he got here.
His routine is always great until it isn't, and then it's like okay, like. It has been the case, and then he goes to Bangkok, and it's kind of a great. And every day you're always in Bangkok when you're Cliff Kingsbury.
Well, that's how you get that's how you get the headlines when you've never won a goddamn thing in your entire life. You got to the playoffs 1 year out of 4. Nice job, proud of you, Kyler Murray. Good job, you guys partnered up. You were average. You got bounced quick. You had losing seasons the rest of the year. Losing seasons for damn near all the 10 you were in college. So he's going to get headlines. He's going to be an exciting. Gimmicky, if Greg and he had some. I get some of the gimmick stuff that I don't like, but when it worked, it was fun. I'm definitely a front runner on the gimmick shit, but I think having a trick play that keeps that defense at bay, that says, "Hey, look, they got speed everywhere, and so is a lefty, former high school quarterback. So if he catches a jet sweep moving left, don't just he might be the lefty guy that chucks it. Because my favorite thing to do is throw a jet sweep and go with a lefty." Because that just you don't see it. High school kids you don't visualize that happening. Oh, he's coming this way. Wait, that guy can chuck it. So stuff like that in situations like playoffs and certain situations, once every 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to be a consistent NFL traditional offense. We're going to have some air raid stuff. We're going to have some West Coast stuff, and maybe a little bit of what Cliff did. Some of his screen game, I would not get rid of.
I would get rid of 0% of it. I love screens. If you can run them well and you have the right offensive lineman,
let's not run 16 a game.
Sure. But I run 10.
But play action. Now we're getting back to a more traditional. T-Bird Strachan would be so proud of this switcheroo, and he would have liked the new school, but he get under center and use that too. Use that also as well. Have that ability to run traditional play action.
Yeah. Because
all these outdoor playoff games I've been witnessing, it's been working. It's balls off.
Oh, yeah.
Because it traditionally has worked because it's worked forever.
If you do this, it will work. The thing about I think like the nicest thing I could say about Cliff, not the nicest, but like a compliment, but it's not the worst thing you can say is that like I thought like that's as close as you can get to Spurrier without being Spurrier. Spurrier was foot to the floor, 0 pass protection and like negative pass protection. So Cliff didn't go that far, but it seemed like a lot of his stuff if it didn't get to the very first read, the development of the play, we couldn't block for it.
One thing Cliff learned over time was that the run game was super important, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of masked some of because we gain our run stats against just soft sevens, against fronts that aren't, that are designed for our little gimmicky stuff, and take what the defense gives us, and that's kind of masqueraded as, and we were top 5 a majority of the season, and that is just because of how defenses were playing us. Go ahead, have at it, have your 4 yards. We will maul you on 3rd down. We're gonna maul you on 3rd down, and you have no chance
on offense and defense.
And you're not gonna ever red zone anything to do with us unless Cliff schemes up everything. And he had to work a shit ton scheming up red zone because we usually just cruise between the 20s and have to figure it out. Last year, the run game saved us a little bit, but it was kind of masked by what we were really trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
and it's not.
And also, we didn't have the tight ends.
Traditional way to win in the playoffs when you're playing outdoors at one of these places.
We don't have we didn't have the tight ends, and we certainly didn't by the end. But like you have to have, like Jonathan Bates is a lock. That's the one of the 3 tight ends that we had that made it work the best. Sinnott had to be more of a pass catcher with yards after the catch potential, and Ertz had to be faster. I mean, at the end of the day, we had an aging old, number 1 tight end.
This system will help Sinnott.
It should.
System has to.
We still need another guy. We still need another one.
No doubt.
But now, if you have Bates,
3 tight ends,
Sinnott, and
a tight end,
a guy.
Listen, we need a lot of shit, but it'd be fun to talk about getting a tight end. We're not
prioritizing
those guys
are available.
Just yet.
Those
I mean, a tight end. I mean, like damn.
Like a first, but I mean, I don't think there's a tight end you can justify.
No, I'm talking about like a 4th round guy that can come in here and be.
Harold Fannin last year, I believe he was Bowling Green or something like that. Anyways, he was a name, but he was buried because he didn't come from one of the best programs, and he showed when you watched him in college, he was a tight end. Like Cleveland got themselves a dude, and I think that was 3rd or 4th round. That's the kind of guy who we need. You're not going to get Brock Bowers, so you're not going to get Tyler Warren, so you're going to have to settle for this guy, and then but that guy ends up being like a 7-year starter,
right?
Gets 55, 65 catches a year.
And here's the deal. This young man is coming in so green as the grass, but he's got a guy like Anthony Lynn around him. We're gonna surround him with experience. But where he comes from, his school is not just those 2. It's not just Ben Johnson and Cliff. Kevin O'Connor was his guy. I mean, and what he loves. I mean, come on, man. You've watched his offense. That tight end is a factor. The play action game is a big deal, and we're going to be stealing bits and pieces from that version of his offense. So these 3 guys that have influenced the hell out of him. I think the tight end is going to be an absolutely premier position for us moving forward. Not that it always hasn't been, because Ertz saved our ass, but that was just by the design of the play and the quarterback feeling out that that's the pro. That's the guy I can get it to. That's the open guy. Because Ertz is like a power forward, crafty as son of a bitch. Yep. Let's go get a dude that's not crafty as a son of a bitch. He can learn how to be crafty. Let's get a dude.
I mean,
Anyways,
we've gotten those.
I'm not saying we should get him ahead of somebody, but wouldn't that be fun?
A
tight end that was a badass.
Fred Davis. Those they were the prototype size and strength.
A healthy
and
Jordan
speed.
Reed. A lobotomy on Fred Davis would have been nice.
We still ended up somehow missing out on. But those in terms of physicality. That's what.
Yes.
I actually
Chris
got to
Cooley,
go to those practices.
I mean, come on, man. Let's
so
talk about the guy.
Totally
but he's more of a
agree.
Zach Ertz. I want a freaking dude. I want one of these new school tight end. Bad son bitches. Kyle Pitts is a free agent. I'm not saying we go throw a shit ton of money.
So here's the deal. So you have Deebo Samuel coming off your roster
a little bit.
Kyle Pitts, if you wanted, because Kyle Pitts, by the way, showed this year that he is growing. Like, I mean, he
had 2 dominant games.
He should have been better his first couple years, and I think it's a real shame because I think he was in his own head and he wasn't grown up.
He had some challenges when he arrived.
Yes,
and a very good friend of ours was tasked with being his buddy, and they love each other.
Yeah,
and shout out Griff, but he said, "Look, he's a young guy.
He's a baller. So he will
someday." Said someday he will dominate NFL football games, and this year he had a couple dominant games.
Guys like Kyle Pitts come available in the offseason because teams that had at one point the luxury of having one of the best tight ends, a first round tight end pick, top 5, top 10, whatever Kyle Pitts ended up being. You have quarterbacks, wide receivers. Edge rushers and people you have to pay. And on that team, they have Drake London, they have Bijan Robinson, They you could say they have a rookie quarterback, but they owe Kirk Cousins a fortune.
I
So
know.
Kyle Pitts could be for the taking. And my point is, in this offense, you have Deebo Samuel, the money slot that he's currently occupying, and even if you would argue the money slot he would occupy if we were to bring him back. You could get Kyle Pitts and somebody else for that money, probably without Kyle Pitts thinking too hard.
And I know you're keeping the offensive money on the offensive side, but let's not forget about the Marshawn Lattimore monies that we already knew were coming back our way, but I think that has been solidified. I don't think there's...
Although, I'd like to see where this trial goes, and I think there's a lot of evidence that we don't.
I guarantee you, our fan base will figure out a way why the judge was wide open because Marshawn Lattimore couldn't cover his ass and blah blah blah. But you know what? He got blamed for everything. Might as well just throw it all at him and let him take it on out of town.
Sure,
why not? We're not above it.
I mean, we knew he wasn't coming back a long time ago, and this wasn't anything that changed that story. That's the thing about this team, because we do have a lot of talent locked up, and we do have a lot of money to spend. So the cool thing is, even though we're a 5-12 team, we're a team. We were 5-12 because the reasons that the professional football players understand. What happened to us this year. I think.
Yeah,
it doesn't make them want to play with Jaden Daniels less. I guess is my point.
I agree.
And so you have to attract free agents these days. Like you can't. You're not just like, we have some money, come play for us. Like, even if you didn't have the money, to the best guys, they'll figure out how to go where they want to go. So I think we're a place people want to go. I think people want to play with Jaden Daniels. I think offensive guys, are look at Tunzel and Connerly and see a decent young offensive line, and
dude.
And also this is going to be like a free agent class. This could be 2 or 3 guys, so we give multiple year deals to that are meaningful, for us, in this window, like a linebacker, an edge rusher, and a tight end or wide receiver type.
We got money.
We got money.
And not only do people want to go where the money's at, because that's just obvious, and that's where the better deals are at. But like, we have the guys that are going to make these choices. But man, we got Jaden.
We got Jaden.
And that offensive line sitting there. There's some stuff going on. And to be fair, if you look down at it and you're an offensive guy and you look out there and you see there's this new young mind that's coming out, and it's going to be a more traditional offense that you might fit in better than maybe our old deal with Cliff. Yeah. There's 15 teams here I'm looking at that have either a head coach or an offensive coordinator out the door.
Dude, it's
15. The turnover there. So for our offensive line coach, we haven't talked about it much. Bobby Johnson gets fired. We haven't really said anything. Well, here's why. Damn near half the league's turnover. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that was my girlfriend. You're dating my girlfriend now. You're dating his girlfriend. Like he's
and all the connections in the NFL and how it all shakes out is going to be insanity.
Staffs are getting reworked.
No doubt. Dude, 15. If Grant Udinski, the OC for the Jaguars, and Adam Stenowich from the Packers go somewhere, that's 15
half
places.
The leagues.
That's crazy.
Half the league's offensive line coaches?
Half the league's head coach or offensive coordinator,
okay, gotcha.
Which tells me there's a lot of turnover coming for all these O-line coaches.
Here's what it tells me. I know you're not. This is my one. I'll say it one time, and we can move right on past it. But I'm telling you right now, this whole situation doesn't happen. Baltimore, the Bisciotti and the Rooneys don't get rid of Hall of Fame head coaches like this. Like the stupidest. Our
fan base gets this, right?
I believe that one of these billionaires thinks he has a shot at Cignetti. I'm telling you right now. If you're Rooney and you just want to shake things up, but you're getting rid of a 19-year coach who never had a losing season. I get it. You want him to turn the page. You've only had 3 coaches. It's like, all right, you want to see the world. You want to maybe have but like he's not a fling dude.
How long are you planning on being on this earth, Mr. Cignetti?
Like coaches are like, you hire for you for life.
What's been your diet the last 20 years as a head coach?
Yes. So, like, fine. Like, 20 years, he gets the gold watch, and they get to still say that, they're the team that keeps coaches the longest. But, like, Cignetti in Pittsburgh makes total sense to me. Cignetti in Baltimore makes total sense to me.
They're hiring dudes left and right as offensive coordinators who've had pubes less than half their lives. And you want Signetti out here. You're like,
64-year-old
go.
Signetti. Because that's what I'm just saying. I believe one of these billionaires thinks they're going to be able to convince him.
He's an 81-year-old, 64-year-old, and that's what I love about him.
And it fits.
I don't think it fits in the NFL.
Well, those billionaires are 80 years old.
It's true.
That's what TV they're watching.
He's not going to wine them and dine them.
They're selling reverse mortgages to these guys.
Dude, he's like the gift of gab. He just basically tells people what to do, and then they do it, and then he wins.
I know, but there's something else. I think he is anyways, whatever. Just to be totally honest, I would, if Signetti told me he would coach, take a 5-year coaching contract for the Washington Commanders, I would do it. I'm sorry, I would do it. I would blow it up. I'd risk it all. I would risk it all.
I'm not going to do it, but
okay.
I'm just saying.
I know. I just want to be crystal clear. I'm not trying to be bashful. I think some 75-year-old billionaire who's never been told no, as he drove trucks full of money at whatever he wanted to do, doesn't think in the back of his mind, I can get this guy. I don't care. I'll buy Indiana out. I don't care. I'll buy this guy out. I'll buy that guy out. Who cares? I want this guy. He's 150 and 26.
Who's there? He's the NFL coach. Get off my lawn.
He's like, all I want to do is coach. It's like, all right, no problem. You don't. That's all you got to do.
That's true. If someone shows up with a pack of Necco wafers, you might get what you wish for, kid.
The problem is that might not work now. You might have to do all the bullshit. Some guys can do all the bullshit and they give up all the coaching to the coordinators. Some of the guys, I don't think every head coach in the league right now is the best coach on their staff. And so, but I think Signetti is a Jedi coach. So, anyways, we'll keep that. We'll keep that. This is it.
Homeboy was at JMU 5 minutes ago. I love
it. And IUP 10 minutes ago.
In his late 50s.
And by the way, there's 5 current starters from James Madison on that Indiana team. I think he came over with 13.
Their average starting lineup is 23 years of age. They've been hanging out. They're all Signettis, I think.
They're all exactly. He doesn't want these young
They
pups.
have packages called they're like Werther's Original. And they just get them out in there.
They're retiring. Most of the players that they're like, yeah, it's like Rudy. They hit the big tackle dummy for one.
Sensodyne right.
Off to the mines, my friend, or the steel mines.
And by the way, he's not that much older than me. I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of the fact that all these NFL coaches are in their 20s.
Yeah.
And I love that you're going for the dashing Kurt Signetti.
If billionaires think they live forever, and for the most part they do, and so they're here. They hire these guys to be fired. The NFL has sent out memos in the offseason multiple years saying, "Listen, hey dummies, just so you know, as a 32-man team, we're paying $315 million to people to not coach our teams this year. What are we doing?" And that just happens over and over again. So. The idea that they're 64-year-old, it's a 64-year-old, that's a whippersnapper to some of these guys, and he's going to come in for 5 years. Don't get it.
What are you 64? Did you just whippersnapper me?
I just whippersnappered you. All right, so I don't want to. I want to be able to come back to this, so I don't want to overdo it now. So let's talk about
back to Signetti.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, listen, Signetti, take a nap. Take a little nap on Ken's couch that looks so comfortable over there. Open space. We'll get back to you in about 15, 20.
I just want to know who he's listening to. Is his wife,
in Indiana
his brother
right now?
Yeah. No. I mean, in life, somebody is giving him great advice.
I was going to say there's a vinyl. There's one of those horns coming out, and it skips on one rotation. It's got the perfect little wobble, and it's a stellar voice from the 30s. That's all I'm saying.
It's
soothing as shit.
At some point, he was in a 4-table diner, and some guy across from him was like, "Dude, listen, you got to take this IUP job. Tell you right now, this is the best decision you'll ever make." And he was like, "I don't know.
The ball coach.
It's either the IUP job or I'm hauling 18-wheelers across country, year round." And he's like, "Listen, both of those are great. Take the IUP job."
I think the guy at the diner was like, "Here, if you want it, it's yours, but make a wish."
That's right. Who knows?
In 10 years, there's going to be hell to pay.
So,
you're a run-of-the-mill coach at IUP? Hell, boy, I know a couple billionaires. Make a wish. It's going to be a movie, the Signetti story. You're going to be in it.
I hope so.
Werther's Originals, come get your. That'll be your role. You'll have a 2-arm strap and a box with all these candies, and you'll be really pushing the Werther's.
It's a dying flavor.
And the peppermints.
I'm out on peppermint, and you know that. Wintergreen for me, and that's where that's it. Spearmint. If you're out of wintergreen, keep walking with your peppermint.
Yeah.
One bad Goldschlager.
Well, now we know how to recruit Kurt Signetti.
Yeah.
There's definitely got to be a one bourbon neat. He's got to have something brown that puts him down. How else can a man like that sleep? You know?
I don't know. I think there's got to be a crypt of some kind, like, or he's hooked up to something. Because there's something about him that it automatically and I'm just saying, like, everyone says, oh yeah, you can be the greatest college football coach of all time. Like, he shows no signs that he's not going to win like 5 national championships in the next 6 years. I'm just saying. But he was all the way down here, then he went here, then he went here, now he's here. And I'm just saying, like, is Indiana, like, if you think to yourself, I, as a head coach, my dream is to coach in the heartland, the team that's lost the most games, turn them all around and just stay there forever.
It's amazing. Oh. But he wastes no time, you know. He's not a guy that's, you know, he doesn't dilly-dally. He's very efficient. Like, I don't think he's getting up twice a night to go take a leak.
Kevin, that's it.
I think he just sleeps face down and just goes right and whizzes right into that mattress. There's no reason, you know what I mean? Like, he'll get up, someone will fix it later.
Need a new mattress. The mattress budget is...
Or not. Or just flip it, or whatever. There's many solutions. There's many solutions. Sure. Let's just not throw it out the window right away, Ken. Maybe he just got that mattress. Maybe it's his favorite mattress.
The asparagus pee out with the bathwater. I understand.
Well, if there was asparagus, it's got to go. But if it's just a regular dark brown water, Necco wafer, Werther's Original type.
If you think Signetti
with some broth.
Some chicken stock?
Bone broth, they call it.
Bone broth?
A little bone broth. It's cold.
If he is going to the NFL, he's going right away. He is all balls, no breaks.
You mean like 65 right away?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, he's not like
all gas, no breaks.
Like, all right, if I put my time in, good 10 years here at Indiana, I'll be 74. I'm sure I can get an NFL job.
There's a huge Amish presence right outside IUP.
Yeah,
he can definitely get some transportation.
This might be it for him. And by the way, it's one of the greatest stories of all time, and he wins. But if, as a head coach, he keeps wanting to challenge himself and take on whatever he's meant to take on, and the NFL is that level, you just said it. He's not pausing. He's going right at it.
But here's who he's meant to take on. Any half-ass sideline reporter at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
You know all those times you cringe? They're like, so what was the key? And they're like, play hard. I love my guys. Shout out to the Lord Jesus Christ. Like, there's like a 15 bullet point thing that you got to hit like 5, and it's relentless. And he just turns it upside down on its ear, and that's what I love about Kurt Signetti. He's halftime interviews make me chuckle. He shows pure emotion.
Yes, personality, character.
They're standing on the field, and he's got the full "get off my lawn" thing going on.
Yeah,
especially.
But he's not Belichick. He's not Belichick.
No, but he doesn't like it.
That's right.
And he shows that, but he also makes everyone laugh with his. And he's not trying to be
funny. When
he's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. I want to play for him.
I
just don't think anyone in the NFL does.
Okay.
No, but I just think that would be a very tough. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough. Everyone's getting high right now. Was a Boy Scout when we started this show. Ken, Mike Tomlin, how about this fact? When he started,
I was 17 years old
when he started. His first day he was hired was 5 months before the original iPhone came out. Like, what are we talking about? Mike Tomlin, they had walkie-talkies and shit. They were definitely stealing signs. Remember those signs? They're actual signs.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Howard the Duck.
Mike Tomlin started 5 months before the original iPhone dropped. That is bonkers nuts to me.
And he's on the market. If he wants to coach, he will. Gosh. I was thinking to myself, I was talking to my Jim Miller and Kevin Ewald, and Jim had mentioned, because you think to yourself, okay, obviously there's no way Harbaugh and Tomlin would just change teams, even though those are the best owners to work for that are available, I believe, Bisciotti and Rooney. If you want to be a coach in the National Football League, but you can't go I don't think you can go Ravens to Steelers.
So I don't know if you saw the soundbite today on local media, but we're not big Ravens guys, but it was on. They asked Bisciotti this point, gave it to him, and his answer, he leaned back. Everyone was, and he said,
"How do you not interview for Tomlin?"
Holy shit, Mike! What do you think about that? Talking to Tomlin.
Yeah.
He said, only if John goes to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what he said.
That's what I'm
That's what
talking about.
Bisciotti said,
Yeah,
dude. I was
that's
blown
awesome.
away. I was like, what the?
So I mean,
He's a character, Bisciotti, man.
it's a better deal for the person going to Baltimore in the short term, in my opinion, because you have Lamar Jackson, but it's as good in the long term for the Pittsburgh guy because it's Pittsburgh.
Well, that's all we've heard is Cliff, Lamar, and Cliff gets to date everyone he wants on and off the field. He's gotten every quarterback. We talked about it last week. I'm not going to go back, but I mean, think of it all. It's bonkers.
But by the way, him and Lamar for the next 2 years,
I know,
outrageously. And then you got to move on from you got to say Cliff. Right? We got her 2 years out.
No, a year and a half into it, something bad happens.
Lamar, and they'll get Cliff fired. But 2 years.
His Polish model girlfriend might not want to spend this much time in the Baltimore
They have a great Polish
area,
district
in DC.
No, but in Baltimore they do.
Too?
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I think there has to be a Polish DC versus Polish Baltimore rivalry of some sort.
Dude, the Polish Baltimore folks, I believe, have been there longer than anybody.
The Polish Washington folks, I'm one of them. My great grandfather's Polish, and he lived on.
You go to
he
some
lived
towns,
on Western.
We had breakfast with him this morning. We did the puka.
He ran a deli, and that's why there was always German bologna in my basement freezer. He'd bring the big ones. You had to slice them yourself. My dad would hack them up I was like, we have a sharper knife. He's like, I like it like this. The bologna was thicker than the white bread, and that was a tough down. That was a tough breakfast sandwich with a couple eggs, but we always had it.
I love
Cliff would cripple Lamar. There's a damn good chance.
By the way,
Lamar's tough as nails, but yeah, it's tough out there.
Like there's
He's
no,
always hurt. I know.
It's not like a genius thing to think that.
First down, first play of the season.
If you want
Lamar Wright
to be a smart offensive coordinator in the National Football League, then you want to have a guy who's one of the best athletes, if not the best athlete on the field whenever he's on the field. And Cliff's had that at times, as at both the college and pro level, and it'll make you look pretty smart, but it's such a physical game that the physicality of the game actually beats that strategy down because you can't. I mean, the exposure. It's funny because everyone plays video games and everyone sees football sometimes, and you watch it on TV and you're separated from it, and you think to yourself, these guys, those hits don't add up. Like the guy's not getting hurt over time. This week doesn't matter about next week. And
I watched Justin Herbert, man.
Yeah,
I felt it through the screen.
Yes, it's hard not to
smell it through the bag, baby. It was terrible.
And years of that add up, and yes, there are guys who are so tough that they can play 15 years of getting their ass kicked like that. Of course, because some people are just built that way.
Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
Is he ever not going to be
Cam
good at
Hayward?
Football? These dudes are bonkers, man. They're built different.
Trent Williams.
All these dudes are built differently.
Yeah.
And I love that freaking 7 years ago we did a whole thing and you were in agreement. And you were like, and we all agreed with each other.
Yes, we did.
Trent Williams would be good for another 7-8 years. And why would we ever not want him to be on our team?
At market value.
And why don't we just go find Bruce and just shake him up a little bit?
Jay Gruden still
let's not leave any
that.
marks on him, but let's oh my God.
You're telling me we had a Hall of Fame left tackle who we never even would have thought about?
To be fair, I said it, and the best player in the league. I thought he was the best player in the league. You wanted at one point, you've always felt this way, but at one point you wanted to trade him for 47 picks. And you're like, let's just trade him.
No, because
what are we
only
gonna do
after
with
he
those picks?
said he was done with Bruce Allen.
Oh, no doubt.
Because it's I was like, okay, then once again, we did it with Kirk Cousins.
And I was like, no, you fired Bruce Allen.
We did it with so many players.
And you didn't fire Bruce Allen. You get rid of Bruce Allen and you acquire Trent Williams. You kick him so far out of the state of Virginia, D.C., and Maryland.
Who do I need more? A franchise 20-year left tackle or a guy who can drink more Evan Williams than anyone in the building and organize Harvest Fest?
When Kyle Shanahan put him in motion on a wham block on the defensive end and then a wham block on the unassuming defensive tackle, it should be illegal in this in the country. Mm-hmm. He's a weapon of mass destruction.
He's still doing it at the highest
He's
level.
one of the coolest football players of my entire lifetime that I've rooted for. I don't know many like him. I love that he was ours, and I hate that we lost him. But you know what? He would have been here for a bunch of empty years as well. But we would have
Oh, he
loved having
knew.
him.
That's the problem with being as good as he is and knowing how good you are because you're that good and like that's just how the game works. Like he's that good, and we drafted him in the top 4. He was number 4 overall, right?
Special.
Yeah. So
special.
those guys come along and they are the pillars of the league, and so he knew it, and like that guys like that aren't they're okay changing scenery for a chance to win because.
He gave us everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the next tier down of like really awesome players who appreciate the fact that they can play football for the maximum amount of money. They're not going to pull their kids out of school and sell their house and go over there for nothing.
Nope.
But if you're one of the best players around, like you want to be able to roll the dice with and change some things up. For a chance to get to the game, and he has gotten to the game.
He deserved it.
Yep.
I rooted for him.
Yep.
He earned it. He not only did he give us everything, he took a team-friendly deal. He was a team leader. He played hurt as shit. Sorry, we didn't tell him he had cancer. Whoops.
By the way, best guard ever played for guard for us in the history.
Well, I know what the shit. He go in there and Kyle Shanahan was like, "Hey, Dad, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Trent Williams and I'm going to use him and kill everyone." And he was like, "I like it." Because in this offense, with a one cut back,
it's like
we will kill everyone. Oh my God.
Second question. Who's playing left tackle? Blah, blah, blah. You're
Does
like,
it matter?
Are you? No, I'm just saying, like, okay, wait, no. Trent Williams plays left tackle.
Well, I know this. I watched 2 tackles kick ass this past weekend that were goddamn hours. Morgan Moses. What a freaking... Now, I'm not saying he was great for us. He was no Trent Williams for us, but he was a damn good football player.
He was always...
And it was stupid to let him go. And look what the hell he's done.
It was...
How about if we bottled them up and didn't have to worry about tackle for the last decade? Shit.
I still, to me, that there's where a front office fails in terms of money, right? Because, like, obviously, they misjudged his sustainable talent, but they clearly decided to put money because we had Brandon Coleman, we had Wiley, we had the Gates and what all these we just had this like really like ragtag low budget offensive lineman room. So more the thing about Morgan Moses is we obviously should have kept him. We obviously should have paid market rate for him. And I don't necessarily know that whatever money that they didn't pay Morgan Moses that went in a different direction, it obviously didn't translate into a Lombardi trophy. But at the same time, get Josh Connerly on the right side. Not having a second and a fourth, I think this really this whole thing really gets me going about how do you get an offensive lineman out of the draft.
We got a fourth.
Sorry.
We recouped the fourth.
We recouped the fourth. I apologize.
B-Rob, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
B-Rob got us a fourth. No, but we don't have our fourth.
That's right.
We had to trade a very good player, a guy that we liked, and he didn't fit in the room apparently.
But
whatever.
no second.
It's fine. 0.
So
2 picks in the top 100. Oof.
My thought is, how do we get a top 100 level offensive lineman in this draft? And because I think that we have to keep doing that.
I agree with you, but right now we have what I would say is 5 starters, but the depth is hurting. So I don't think we're going to go that high.
No.
But we might
a
have
third.
to.
What if if you could get a starting caliber center or guard in the third, would you do it?
Maybe. But I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say maybe the same way I talked earlier.
Because that tight end's
earlier
there too.
I said tight end and obviously receiver. I mean, we're buck naked at receiver. We got a rookie coming into his second year. We got McCaffrey coming off a brutal injury, and we got Terry McLaurin. So Noah's gone. We got Debo, I believe, might be gone, or else has to be re-signed for a shit ton. And I really like Debo, but I don't know about you guys. I think we should all, whoever's paying attention, thumbs up if you want to keep him, thumbs down if you don't. And I really like Debo as a football player. He's not a fantasy guy. He's a way better football player.
He is a fantasy guy.
I know, but not really. He's not a target guy. He's not just saying his injuries over the last few years, he hasn't been a guy on the fantasy radar. When he had his big, huge year years ago, he was one of the best fantasy, and he got everyone's attention. I love him for being a great fudging football player.
I don't think he's a gimmicky guy at all.
He's not a gimmicky guy.
I think he's a great
but
football
you have to
player.
come up with some gimmick stuff to get him the ball in space because I don't think he's a natural running back or a natural receiver. I think he's a natural football player.
Yep. And he makes your team better.
And he's a badass. Of course,
if you can get him for $19 or $20 million a year, I'm okay with that. But I don't think you can.
Having about 2 guys like that over 30 without having a proven guy anywhere else.
So Ayuk is going to be
without having a defense.
Ayuk that's going to be the thing.
Ayuk's going to be very interesting.
We're going to be linked to him. I guess the point is we're going to be linked to him. Oh, so thumbs down from EO on Debo. I'm kind of like
I'm giving a thumbs down, and I love Debo.
I want to use the money.
I agree.
I want to use the money.
I want to get Jaden a massive freak target. Yeah. Terry's a great football player, and he plays freakish, and I love him. Give Terry a freak and see what Terry does.
So you have Bill, who got you 175 carries, 800 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's like tattooed in my brain. That's just like a great running back line for a committee dude. There's going to be a couple guys on the market this offseason who come in as RB1s. And like the one that I think will be linked to a lot, Breece Hall is going to be linked to us a lot. The guys like that. I mean, hey, listen, if you...
It's hard. He's going to cut, but it's hard. I know. He is so goddamn talented.
He's so good. So if these are guys who you want to put the ball in their hands. And again, if you have Jacory and a guy like Breece Hall, again, there's going to be other dudes, but he's going to be linked to us right away. And then again, running backs on their second contract, yes, so he's going to get his money as an RB1. So he gets to decide where he goes. There's going to be he's looking for an offense that can get him touches, looking for an offense that can get him stats,
catches, handoffs, all the stuff. We got the O-line. We got a guy that wants to do it. Debo, I hate that we keep saying gimmicky, and I get it, but Debo has so many things to offer a gimmicky offense. A Kyle Shanahan who just let him go and did not want to because he loves using him as a toy the same way that Cliff did. I'm ready for every down running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Let Bill be that second guy as a badass.
Between the 30s.
That's what the league needs.
Just beat you up between the 30s,
and
between the 40s.
Let's get some guys that in the tight end and passing game, a huge, fast target, play action, a huge, fast play action target, a huge, fast play action target at receiver, and a dude that can work the under at tight end like Zach Ertz does, but maybe has a little more red zone athleticism.
Yeah.
God damn, we got to help Jaden out a little bit. We got to help Jaden out a little bit, mostly on defense. We got to help Jaden out mostly on defense, but he needs some toys, man.
We'll jump over there to close things out, but just to tie the knot on the offense.
Okay.
The money that's coming back to us from Deebo Samuel, if he doesn't come back to us, which let's just say in this sake of argument scenario, he's gone and that money comes back. That first of all, you can get Breece Hall for less than what it's going to cost to keep Deebo Samuel.
That's Christmas money. That's the toy money.
That's
the offensive portion of the children that you have to take care of. They ask for this, and you got to take care of that one child.
In terms of how you
that one thing, I'm okay with that shit.
In terms of how you amortize it across in salary cap wise, the Deebo Samuel money could give you Breece Hall and Kyle Pitts for 2 years under the cap before you have to start doing things, to it. But that's like $20 million. You could put Pitts and Hall into your offensive lineup in that slot without yet talking about Ayuk. And then the defense.
Agreed. And also what you can do, I'm not saying that. I love that. So far, we're right here, but we're going to have another assist on the offensive end when we do re-sign Laramie and restructure. Next year, I think he's owed 24, 25, something along that line.
Yeah, we can bring that down.
We can bring that down for next year. Terry's only at 18 next year. Lattimore gone. So now we can front load a couple, back load a couple, and play the little game here for the next 2 years before we have to give that fifth to Jaden, which is obvious, unless he gets, cold feet about this area. Or I don't want to say anything negative, but you know what I'm saying. To do that for the next 2 years really allows us to have a 2 deep. And doing this for the last 10 years, we've seen these abilities to go out and grab, and we've swung and missed. It's time. Adam Peters was fantastic year 1, average year 2. Some might say below. It's time.
Well,
it was.
When
this is year goddamn 3, Ken.
When do you step up from the army of 1 year guys because that's how you save your money year over year, right?
Like you said last year, 26 or 27, almost 28. This year we got to keep it down at what?
We got to get below 20.
21?
Below 20.
It's for our 90.
Below 20.
For our 90 man, it'll be above 20. But for our real roster, our real
be
deal,
below 20.
it has to be. And I think today I had
That's
it at 19.
goal.
I did it. I counted it over here.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I have
what
it at 19.
So
that number has to come down.
We have to build the core, and
and
the core has to be sustainable for a few years, and then they're finding those guys, and so this is the kind of the death knell for Deebo Samuel because with all of our salary cap space, we have to prioritize defense. And also, you talk about David Blau coming in and the
good priority
traditional offense that you're going to run. Traditional offenses work best when they are supported by traditional defenses, and there's nothing more traditional than stopping the run. And so, getting to the quarterback and the amount of money that we have, we're gonna have the same kind of talent in the free agent pool willing to consider coming here. And there's
a lot of open spots.
We have openings.
Here we go.
We have some openings. It's going to drive our first round choice decision at number 7. Not that we're doing a big drafting tonight, but David Bailey, the edge rusher from Texas Tech, I believe. He's if Arvell Reese is gone and he's the dude.
He is, but he came out on some rundowns, and I didn't like it. As a fan watching it, as a Redskin fan watching
if he comes out of rundowns, he's not. You don't draft him at 7. And then you take Caleb Downs. You take Caleb Downs.
Listen.
Yeah, I do too. And by the way, the thing about drafting a guy who's going to play with the letter S next to his name on like the roster is that guy is going to play every down on defense.
Caleb Downs is his goddamn name.
He's playing all the downs. All the downs, and he has the ability to make an impact on every single play. And so, that's not too early to draft a guy like that at number 7. And also, the thing about safeties that's like the thing in the league is they're not like the most expensive player on the field for the most part, and so therefore you could potentially buy your way into a solid safety position because they're not the highest salary cap demanding spots. However, the best safeties in the league, your Derwin Jameses, your Kyle Hamiltons, guys who come in right away. I love Malachi Starks, who's with Kyle Hamilton. But the guys who come in, the best guys, again, they impact every single play. They stand in the back. They're leaders. They tackle well. They defend the pass well. They're physical. They're alpha males.
Yes.
They're alpha males.
I agree 100,000% with the names you just said and everything about them all. They're 3-level defenders. Yes, typically you don't draft a safety top 10, but if you got a guy that can come off the edge the way these guys can, come up and play weak side linebacker when you need him to, and cover 2/3, 3/3 of the field, 1/3 D, you can play single high with dudes like this. Caleb Downs can be a single high, double high, either one. He can come and play inside or outside if you need him. Yeah. He can come off that edge and blitz so that at that point he's no longer a safety to me. He plays 4 positions.
Yes.
So if you draft a guy at number 7 that plays 4 positions, that's worth it to me. It's not just
it's so worth it. And the other thing about guys like him, here's the difference between drafting a safety in the top 10 who's worth it and bottom of the first round, top of the second round safety like this kid from not Temple. But I'll think of it in a second. But anyways, there's there's another safety prospect who's in the bottom of the first, top of the second. Now you're talking about size, strength, reach, long arms, passes defended, passes broken up, metrics. You would want to put that metric on the field, and I get it. Like this is a game of math. You want to have guys with long arms who are as tall as they can, who are as fast as they are at that height, who play with behind their pads, all that kind of crap. But that's all you're getting. That's the difference between Caleb Downs and then Emmanuel, whatever his name is from. I can't get it.
I thought it was Temple.
It might have been Temple. But
I'm not up on my.
So Caleb Downs. The reason why he's worth the number 1 overall pick for a team in the top 10 is because he gives you the physical metrics, obviously. But but at the same time, like he's that guy that you wanna be on the field with. Like when you were growing up playing tackle football in the backyard, and you had like that was your teammate. You hit that 8-year-old version of him was your teammate. Like you were like, dude, we're good. Like no matter, like it's all good. And like,
I love
he's
you always go to backyard tackle football.
Yes,
which isn't played anymore, and I wish it was.
It has,
and
I know.
And pickup hoop isn't either, and it shows. But you talk about a guy like that. I'm just going to give you my perspective. I sat there as the son of a coach, and the most boring things in the world. I started off, it was 8mm off my uncle's wall. My dad gets the job in the mid-'80s. VHS was out, but we were all going over Uncle Frank's. And he was showing the 5-3 defense, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, my God. All I know is I watched more film than anyone from age 4 until age 24 in my life. But my uncles taught me, and Moss Collins taught me, and Joe Gallagher, these old names. Stop focusing in on the quarterback and the ball. Watch this for the next 10 minutes and tell me which player jumped out. Which player did you see their number? And I was like, oh, wow. For my whole life, that's the only way I've ever watched football.
Yeah.
And you do too, I noticed.
The
guy that jumps out is the first guy, and we can't wait. You, me, and T all can't wait to find our guy after the first quarter. Who is it? Who is it? Blah, blah, blah. If you watch effing a goddamn football game, Caleb Downs in it, it is damn near impossible to pick who's second.
Arvell Reese is right there.
I know, but he's these young bucks that play.
But Arvell Reese is two levels.
They are a work.
They
are a work in progress. Also, yes, they're a monster, but also at that level, they are hand in the dirt and go.
And also, the best players on the other team are going to get their hands on them. Trent Williams is going to be picking up Arvell Reese.
Caleb Downs is making every call on the defense.
Yeah.
So when you watch, I'm not just talking about the athleticism
for everyone
else,
also for himself. He's like, I want this guy to go there because I'm right here.
He is
nose for the ball. I think this isn't even like a daring ourselves into it scenario. Like he is going to be the best football player on the board when we pick, unless someone is smarter than us and takes him. What do we got?
No, Greg's right. Here's the deal. We got to 10-14. We were just having some fun.
Yeah, dude.
I know. I love the goddamn games. They're my fave.
By the way, our Venezuelan audience is blowing up.
Honestly, they make me very happy, and I know a lot of people in town that listen to them that do this later in the week and come into the bar and say what's up. Sorry.
Can we do it? Can we do it very fast? You have a pen, right?
Yes.
In our new studio.
Yes.
We moved our new studio 10 feet we came in billions of dollars under budget.
No.
Billions of dollars under budget.
Let's do some fun shit
by
real quick.
being able to utilize some of the same things. By the way, I want to say some highs and hellos.
Yes, please.
Obviously, Greg Martin.
Love you guys.
Appreciate you for your conducting. You once again you won for best score of a Commander's Basement podcast. Congratulations, sir. NES Tecmo. McNamara Mustangs in the house. Love you forever. J Dubs, what's up? Ken Harris, as always. Rhett, Harlan, Derek.
I miss Rhett.
TR.
Shout out Harlan.
All the folks who we're gonna listen to us tomorrow, or when they're doing their Pilates, because I think Matt Seal listens to us during his Pilates class, and I'll tell you right now,
games.
Yeah, that's true.
Games.
When
Matt Seal's in Pilates, my brain starts focusing about Matt Seal's Pilates class. So I said games.
Also, it's a hot Pilates.
Pilates. That's how I cope. That's a coping mechanism.
Sure.
Games. Definitely games.
Hot dogs.
More games. No, but Greg Martin said, or DC talk. Listen, we have 90 defensive coordinators in the mix. There's 15.
All right, I'll tell you this. All right, Greg, that's good advice. We're 58 minutes into the show. We don't
get to play games. This is bullshit.
But here's what I do want to say, because I want to say this about we're gonna break the last few minutes of the show down into two categories. We're gonna do a little defense talk, because we were getting there, and I think it's important because that's the only way David Blau does well in his first year as offensive coordinator.
I'm a magician. Blau.
As a football fan, because this is the continuation of the conversation we're just having.
Game blouses. Let's go. We have so much to do.
As someone who literally played tackle football every day for like 10 or 11 straight years, and now I'm starting to realize why my body is feeling the way it is. I can tell you that the last 5 days was one of the greatest football fan
Agreed.
5 day spans.
It was fun.
It was awesome.
It was fucking fun. It was the most fun 5 days.
Football gods got it right.
Yes.
2 college semifinal games, 3 days of really, really, really good. I mean, again, so here's the deal. Like, our team was 5-12. As a kid, I could not enjoy the playoffs because we were winning Super Bowls, and if we weren't playing, it's because we lost in the playoffs to the Giants. God damn it, or whatever.
I would cry uncontrollably.
Yeah, and then I did not want to watch next week.
Inconsolable.
I don't care.
I had to watch next week.
I
I
couldn't.
had to do it by myself in the basement.
I couldn't. And you know what? And I was just a baby about it. I needed to grow up. And thankfully, Dan Snyder created the worst 20 years of our lives, and I grew up. And I decided, you know what? NFL is pretty great. I wish we would stop making it less great. And now we've stopped the making it less great. Obviously, 12-5 turned into 5-12. But I think, that what we got over the last 5 days can and should be appreciated by everybody, but especially people who love football. It was so awesome. It was awesome till the end last night. I know that game was decided 30-6. And I know it was weird. They didn't spend a ton of time about it being Aaron Rodgers' last game, maybe, and about Mike Tomlin being a 19 season, never had a losing season ever, might have coached his last game in one of the best, really the best
one
NFL
game
towns.
Short of breaking the all-time record. Chuck, no, it's one game. He had one game to go to be the all, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
So
only him.
That was a Cliff Kingsbury meeting, I believe. They were basically like, "Hey, listen, we've decided Italian clubs were great for 19 years, but you know what? We want a meatball and cheese sub now. We want to taste something different."
Why do I always feel like at the very end of the interview, they're like, "Okay, Cliff, so what would distinguish you amongst the other candidates?" And he's like, "Have you ever met a Gili monster that speaks Polish?" and fluent Thai. Because you were supposed to Bangkok that one, dude.
You know what? Because I know, I just didn't know how.
One night in the new basement, Atkins makes him humble.
EO, we are working on that theme song. Everywhere is Bangkok when you're Cliff Kingsbury. We'll see. Like him in Pittsburgh, by the way, is a natural disaster. So maybe it would work, but there's no way it works. There's no way.
No way.
No
Kingsbury
chance.
No.
I mean,
hold on. Have you ever eaten a pierogi in Pittsburgh? I think we might be onto something. His Polish girlfriend is going to be like, what was that song from? What are the guys from Chicago?
The band Chicago? Oh, Sneezy?
Sneezy.
Yes.
Eat some pierogies with your girlfriend in Pittsburgh.
By the way, Arthur Smith.
That's the only way they could ruin him.
There's no way they don't hire Arthur Smith.
Sir, have you ever seen his mugshot or his headshot?
It screams Sausage King of Pittsburgh.
Denard Wilson up for our gig same year at DeMatha playing against Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith and Denard Wilson played within a 10-minute ride from where Ken and I are right now. I'm just saying. Arthur is like 7
and 10 feet.
Arthur played about 7 minutes away from here at Georgetown Prep.
Yep.
And dude, I mean, he is kind of a Pittsburgh guy, but every coach including Noel, everyone they've hired, their last 4 hires, which is like all of them, were under the age of 38.
Move over just a little more that everyone can see you in that picture.
Eat some cheese with you. Sorry. Sneezy. It's a good jam.
Yeah, check him out, man.
Yeah,
Chicago Funk. Who doesn't like Chicago Funk?
And I agree.
All right.
I will say this real quick. Can I say my last thing?
Yeah.
I've given the college football season a hard time because I'm an NFL guy.
Yeah.
The NFL stepped it up like it always does. But the parody of this year is so crazy that it's made it so enjoyable, especially when your team's not in there. The parody of the NFL right now, 1 through 12 in the playoffs, is so nuts. But thank you, college football, for also stepping up your game and making this weekend. It was a special weekend of football. It was the most enjoyable one I've had all year. I was glued. I was stuck to it, and nothing disappointed me. I was thrilled.
Until the Philly-San Fran game, they said every team that won was losing at the 2-minute warning.
The 2-minute warning. When I heard that, I
was
said
like,
it out
"No
loud,
way!
and I was like, "You
That's
got to be
awesome!
shitting me, man."
That's so cool.
That's what parity means. This is what the wild card weekend should be.
Absolutely. Who's healthiest and who's hottest?
No
And
more
by the way,
free
Houston
passes.
Houston was the hottest team coming in the playoffs, and they almost gave that thing away. So good on them. And by the way, it's crazy that the hottest team in the playoffs has to go to Pittsburgh in January. That's tough for an indoor team. And by the way, that's why all stadiums should be outdoors. I'm done with all this, dome.
In
bullshit.
5 years, just so you know, all the best outdoor stadiums are going indoor, including ours.
We can't open our roof.
I don't believe you're going to see cold breath on a television broadcast in 7 years, and I am having a hard time with it.
So
Honestly, what the fudge, man? But all these new super stadiums are not allowed to be outside because of the concerts and the Final Fours and whatever.
ACL injuries.
Oh, get a tray of grass, store it over there, slide it out on some rollers. Get a horticulturalist. Can we be in charge of grass somewhere in town?
Would like to say that we could. Maryland, by the way, that's like one of Maryland's #1 cash crops is turf, artificial turf. I don't know if you knew that.
I live next to Summit Hall Turf Farm. Yeah. And then when it moved out to Poolsville, my parents moved out to Poolsville. It was as if we were connected.
Dude,
to a turf farm.
All the
you just roll up that turf.
Yeah.
Put it on the back of a freaking truck.
Well, we'd grow tobacco in that land forever.
Water it and put it down. It's not hard. I want to start a turf farm in your backyard.
I think we should. I mean, dude, can you make zins out of tobacco? Is that how it works? I don't know.
Is there a house in the back that I could live in from Monday to Thursday, like a worker home?
Yeah, for
running
sure.
Water.
Absolutely. Right. No. No. Run, well, we'll have rain barrels.
A wood burning stove is all I need.
You can burn wood. I don't know if you would call it a stove per se. More of a latrine stove combo.
I hate the smell. I hate that smell.
It's beautiful. Defensive coordinator to close things out. Got to make a decision between now and August.
Between like 20 candidates. All right, 4, but come on.
All right, so now you have to pitch, right? Because now you ultimately have a defensive-minded head coach. Like this is different. A lot of the teams, their head coach is an offensive play calling, whatever, and he's looking for someone to just handle the defense. Dan Quinn can't be that guy. This is year 3, lobster date year for us, and Dan Quinn cannot be the guy who lets someone else decide his fate. This defense, he owns this defense, and therefore the defensive coordinator hire is obviously way less of a big deal than David Blau.
No doubt
for us.
But at that level it is. But our defense sucks so bad, and Dan Quinn's, he hired Joe Quinn to run his baby. What he likes, what he knows, what he understands, how he runs it. His D. In fact, he had to let his buddy go, demote him, and take over himself and do okay. But I think at the end of the year, we got to make something different.
Yep.
But I don't know if you can do a completely different system. Bro, you got a 1-year deal. You want to have a new offensive coordinator, a whole new defensive system? We can go F ourselves. I think it's got to be something similar. If Brian Flores would just say yes.
But
there's
like
no
that.
I don't think there's
It's got to be a guy with ties to Dan Quinn.
Any chance Brian Flores says yes.
It has to be a guy with ties to Dan.
But Ken, I write all these names down. Like Jeff Albrecht's son is way too, he's got his hands in all the files and he sends them out. Remember that? The dude at Atlanta that was like giving up to all the plays and the tweets and the Jets. Raheem Morris, no chance. He's all over the place. Brian Flores, John Gannon, maybe the most boring guy ever, had the best defense in Philly. Before he goes to Arizona.
But again, it has to be a guy. Yeah, it has to be a Dan Quinn guy.
I know. But who's a Dan Quinn guy? Joe Cullen, the chief D-line guy, is awesome.
I'll tell you right now.
He's awesome. But real quick.
This is going to be 7 D-lines.
19 years, 7 teams, only been our D-line coach. Really?
This is going to be one of our own guys. Who's getting it?
How can it be one of our own guys
because
when we took huge shits on our own selves the entirety of the season?
Quality control. Who was quality?
Oh, wow, that guy deserves to get a raise.
Bobby Wagner.
Maybe not a defensive coordinator position.
Bobby Wagner.
Because there was shit everywhere on that field. Just hire Bobby Wagner.
If Bobby Wagner said, first of all, obviously, I preface every Bobby Wagner conversation with, Bobby Wagner wants to play football next year. He's going to be able to play. He's going to make a ton of money doing it. He's one of the best linebackers in the league. at doing what he does. Nobody he tackles people. In case you were wondering, that's the point of defense: tackle people, and he's like one of the best guys ever at it. So he can still play. However,
it's all breakers I'm talking about, Greg. His kids have his Wi-Fi password, and they're sharing all of his inside information. Remember?
That's right. That is the dude. Oh, is that the guy who did like the Shador Sanders, like fake stuff? Right? Is that him?
No, his son was giving up the game plan.
Okay.
Remember? He was like, "Hey, we're gonna run the Ken Meringolo hook and ladder," and they were like, "What?" And he was like, "No way." He was like, "Wait, what?" So like, he had to be like, "We're very sorry that my son released that information." Also, Denard Wilson, DeMatha, Maryland, and the Redskins. I don't think it's going to be him. Sorry.
My point about Bobby Wagner is,
who can it be?
He's a guy
Ken
who
Norton
goes
Jr.?
From playing to coaching in one step. He's not taking a year off. He's a football guy. I mean, he's going to be
collect the masters from Howard.
Yes.
Get the DC from the Skins.
Player. By the way, player coach, defensive coordinator Bobby Wagner. That's my final answer. My final answer.
I want a picture of him and Will Ferrell in Tropics jerseys. Stat.
What's the
Tropics?
Jackie
right?
Moon.
Jackie Moon. Tropics. Tropics throwbacks. That.
All right. So as long as we're all on the same page, we're risking it all for Cignetti, and we're making Bobby Wagner a defensive coordinator, player coach. Let's go.
And do you remember at the movies in the 30s, the pinup lady with the bobby pins in her hair that walked around with that tray of snacks? That's you.
Okay.
That's you.
All right.
Werther's Originals.
Yeah, for sure.
Peppermints. Give me one more great candy from that era. The stuff wrapped in a strawberry wrapper.
Does it look like a strawberry? Like wearing the strawberry wrapper?
Yep.
It's a strawberry wrapper. For sure.
My grandmother had a billion of those bad boys.
It was the best because there's no seeds. That's why I loved them.
First of all, they were delicious.
I was like, I can trust this.
First of all, I love Werther's. No one understands how good they are. It's fun to talk about old folks loving them.
It is. It's a stereotype, but you know what? I've often found that if you're like, here's the thing about quote unquote old people, and this is what I've learned in my very short existence. But you're much older than me. They've been around long enough to know what's good. Like when they're handing out Werther's, they're not like, oh, this is what old people do. They're like, no, secretly, like I've been on this planet for 77 years. This is like the best thing I've ever. In 77 years, it's the best flavor. Here you go. It's wrapped in plastic.
Back then, they were like, here's some sawdust.
Yes.
Here's some salt. And here's a Werther's. And everyone was like, oh, shit.
Wait, you're telling me I can be in flavor country after unwrapping of this cellophane.
And there's no ladies like, how many grams of fat in that sawdust? Is there?
They are experts in flavor. There's nobody with more experience. I trust them.
It's the greatest long-term flavor, caramel, in the history of burning sugar.
It is. And Tootsie Rolls, by the way, I think
can eat a big bag of shit.
They need to check themselves before they wreck themselves.
Like you need a hunter's knife to carve through to what you think is the good part inside.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's just as bad in there as it was out there.
Yeah. If you treat it like a hard candy, though, it changes the game a little bit.
It's
like a Jolly Rancher. I treat it like a Jolly Rancher.
I'd rather taste my tonsils tongue in cheek.
But it's that gelatin bone.
I would rather have my unbrushed teeth after
it?
a bad bar shift.
Cartilage. It's cartilage, right?
Oh, it's gelatin.
Yeah.
It's the not just the knuckle of the moose, it's the ankle of the moose.
Yeah.
It's
my doctor
forearm
said
of the moose.
I'm not getting enough moose in my diet, apparently. Even though I'm like all these Tootsie Rolls I'm eating. I don't know. I guess, but then I remembered
Did you remind him that you were more of a caribou?
I remember
guy?
I had you.
Yeah.
Elk. Elk and caribou for the most part. That's where I live. All right. So if we're not going to promote from within, but we kind of are because it's going to be Bobby Wagner, player coach at DC. I am excited about the next 7 days for two reasons. One, I think we're going to get another good round of games. I love the matchups. I
do too.
By the way, the 1 seeds are fun. Like this Seattle Seahawks, I love to hate them because they've beaten us a lot in the postseason. We faced them a lot in the postseason. I don't have any love for Mike McDonald, but I will say this: they're good. They're really good, and they're playing at home. And Seattle in the playoffs at home, it's great TV.
Oh God, dude,
it's great TV.
You can't argue with those people.
No,
they are badass,
Yeah,
man.
they deserve it.
get it done. They do deserve it.
They
It's
deserve
never good weather. They're never like, oh, it's gonna be a gorgeous day. Let's go to the game. No, they're like, it's gonna be certainly disgusting out there. We're gonna be so wet and uncomfortable for 7 hours, and I don't give a fudge.
Another defensive-minded head coach in a team that knows if they can get to the playoffs, they're going to put a great defense on the field in bad weather, and that's going to happen again this week. So, and then somebody was going to be the smart guy for bringing in Sam Darnold. It turns out to be the Seahawks. He's turned into and developed into, and that's the key word. He's developed. He did the work. He's a good quarterback in this league. He's doing just fine.
I love Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba really gives him a chance to shine in this playoff.
Without a doubt.
That guy is special.
How about the 1 seed over on the other side of the world?
I can't wait to watch that.
Okay.
I can't. I mean, listen, man. Bo Nix, come on out there, make some plays, make some mistakes.
The Broncos and the Texans defense.
We're going to see one of either.
You talk about watching football until you watch the defense play. If you watch Houston and you watch Denver, especially when they give you the sky cam from behind the line and you watch what they're doing schematically, like you're like, wait, why can't we do that? Like you're like, why can't we? Now I understand some of their talent. We have a little bit of a talent deficit, but schematically, like what they're doing, like it's about where those guys are, and they're always in the right place. They're so well coached. They're physical to a man
that can tackle like tackles.
And they're healthy.
And rush like edges.
And they made it all.
We don't have one player in our roster that can do it. 3 of those guys do. That's all. That's all. But
Patrick
in Greg Martin's game last week, we had a 12 team, and it said who get the 1 return, whether it was a kickoff, punt, block, fumble, blah, blah. Houston was the only team that did it, and they got 2.
Oh.
No one else had a punt return, kickoff return, interception return, fumble return. There was no returns. But those boys were like, we're not done yet.
How about so
you saw Big Boy get his last week. I'm just saying. They're
Rankin,
on that
Sheldon
run.
Rankin.
They're on that. Yes.
I thought the most telling stat was when they flashed it up and they said in the fourth quarter for the entire season. So the entire season, all 17 games, like you're seeing what that number is. Who did the best in the fourth quarter? The Steelers had a 78-point advantage in the fourth quarter over their opponents, and the
Steelers.
I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the Texans.
The Texans had a 78-point advantage over the fourth quarter. The Steelers had a 40-something point deficit to their opponents in the fourth quarter, and that's when the game was at 7-6, I believe. And I believe I believe they scored 20. I believe the Texans scored 23 points in the fourth quarter. And you think to yourself, when I saw that set, I was like, yeah. I've been watching this whole freaking game. I like the Texans are stinking out loud. They shoot them. They're like literally targeting their own feet with these guns. And 30-6. I mean, it's a testament to obviously the talent that they have. Will Anderson's obviously a stud, but like again, watch what they do on defense. And when we get to see the Broncos come out next week, because Sean Payton, a great offensive-minded guy, with Vance Joseph on the defense with some of those defensive ends, some of those corners. I said Patrick Surtain. Those 2 teams are so much fun to watch because of how they play defense.
This weekend is going to be spectacular, and I dig it. It's 1 day shorter, but hey, Saturday, Sunday with a Monday night natty.
Defense wins championships, and Indiana's defense, by the way, is as good as they come.
I'm going to tell you right now, forget about a spread. I want to know the exact amount of points Signetti wins by. I don't need a score. I don't need anything. Yeah. I want you to tell me what because I do know you think Indiana wins this ball game.
Oh, yeah.
What is the number?
So the second they gave me a number to bet on, I bet on it, and I've bet on it since. And I believe
I know you've been banging on old man Signetti.
Yep. This is not a put your foot on the brakes and play it safe. This isn't like if you watch them play in the Big Ten championship against Ohio State.
Dance.
Yes.
Also,
that Ohio State Indiana game, they played that was like a boxing match. They were clearly, because they knew there was going to be bigger games to be played after that. It was a 13-10, whatever, 17-14 type thing. I forget what the final score was, but it was something like that.
No, it was I don't remember the score. It was an
Bruising,
awesome
low scoring,
football game.
awesome game.
But Ohio State got TKO'd by somebody else.
Yes, but they got TKO'd by Indiana in that game. And I'm saying, like, in a national championship, I know that Indiana can win that way against Miami. I think to beat Miami, because whenever Miami's won this season, if you watch them, they always make like the best play of the game. Some receiver makes the best, like Tony or one of the, like they make the highlight reel
Tony.
Play of the game. Somebody, and it's a touchdown. It's not just a good catch for a first down. It's the play of a game that cost the other team 7 points. And they've been doing it all year. And Indiana has to keep their foot on the gas. So I believe they'll win by 27 points.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be close. I don't think again, and I don't know. I think Mendoza. Mendoza had 5 touchdown passes. I think he's getting every bit of 3 or 4 minimum in this game. And I mean, Indiana's defense, they're healthy, and they're the unsung heroes. Like that guy. Like they have that. That's like the middle, that linebacker Austin Fisher, whatever his name is, from James Madison. I mean, you just have they just like chips on their shoulder.
He actually went to middle school with James Madison.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes.
He did. They're 23 years old of age at average age. I'm like,
he had
God
polio.
damn.
He had the pox.
That's like my friends. Like, besides you and I, like, Dylan, you saw last week.
I mean,
our average age of friends is Jake. I mean, come on, man.
How hard is a middle linebacker expected to play in a national championship game when he once suited up for James Madison? All I'm saying is, that guy's an All-American, and so I think Indiana's defense is going to shut him down. I think they're going to hit some dudes. I mean, because Indiana's whole thing all season long was they were slightly undersized, but they made up for it with execution and talent, and they did have some big, strong dudes. But Miami
and sycamore trees, obviously.
Sycamore trees. But Miami's built smaller too, so that the size matchup is much more in Indiana's favor, and so therefore I think they're going to destroy him.
27.
27, I think.
I'm here to say this: $1 bet on camera. This game, I do not think Miami's going to win. I do believe they will keep it to a single-digit scenario.
Okay.
I think we are in for a treat on Monday.
I can't wait.
Because it will be the cherry on top, because what we're about to witness on Saturday and Sunday is going to be spectacular. I'm sorry, man.
And Monday.
It's about to be Monday's going to be neat because the college football tournament stepped it up.
They did.
Also, this is NFL playoffs, which always.
By the way, sneak peek
up.
For years to come, right? So
because it's now the NFL Junior. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
exactly what it is. A sneak peek.
We're going to get a sneak peek, but I'm saying sneak peek in terms of the next like 5 years or so. When we officially rid ourselves of this bowl game bullshit at the Division I level, and we turn into a more
bowl of gravy,
traditional postseason
bowl of gravy,
format.
Bowl of gravy.
You're going to get a serving of college football playoffs every week with your NFL playoff run, right? So like the lead up to the playoffs for the NFL is going to be the college football playoff season. And then you get to this round, and you're going to be right here where you are. So it's going to be, like the 12. What are we? 12 teams now. I mean, 16 to 20 teams quickly. But we talked about the pods and the whole format. It's not going to be like a 7-week season. I mean, it's going to be still going to be like 3 or 4 weeks of playoffs.
Right. But the playoffs are now. That's the fillet. That's the main course.
Yep. I'm going to miss them.
What are we even talking about?
When we get to the...
I am too.
When we get to the next level of NFL playoffs, it's going to be done.
Some people, a lot of gamblers love the college football season because it's very easy to win there. It's not so easy in the NFL. Just being honest, now, this is what I like. I'm not a gambler. I'm terrible at it, or else I'd keep doing it. I love college football, but man, they've really stepped it up with this playoff. Because the last decade of college football has been a little sad. Anyways... What we got going on this weekend is another back-to-back of monstrosity. We actually got a day off to recuperate. Hopefully you guys do too. But our kids, that makes it way easier on the good. Right. Especially when the oldest ones are off. Not hanging
gallivanting.
Gallivanting.
They're out gallivanting.
Also in the fine state of Indiana, but we all know that from last week. Hey, I have
Greg,
to
by
pee
the way,
really bad.
Princess Cashmere, belly dancer for hire. This is from straight out of Springfield. Springfield.
What?
He knows what that is. He knows what that is.
Oh,
It's a Christmas present.
got it. I went the wrong way on the right way. My bad, both of you gentlemen.
To all you out there, we appreciate
Cashmere.
you guys hanging
Yeah.
out with us on a Tuesday, giving us your time to check in with us whatever other way you consume our show. He's Kevin Ricca.
Hey, man, thank you guys always. And I promise, it's been so much fun with all this, but we're going to get to the Motown night and the fun stuff and blah, blah. It's just been neat. And let's keep our fingers crossed for that O-line coach and that D coordinator. Mostly that DC.
Mostly that DC.
Mostly that DC. But the fourth best hire, you got OCDC tied, special teams coordinator third.
John Harbaugh.
Let's get that offensive line taken care of, right? We can't even scratch that surface because we have no freaking idea. But the dude from Dallas that I was going to say his name. Anyways.
We have to figure out a way to add talent.
That's
going to
be a very important guy.
I want to add a starter. By the way, we got to get to this. We got to get to this every year because every year we say how many new starters do we need to have on our offensive line. For the most part, I think we've been right. I mean, there's 5 of them, right? So
Tunsil, Connolly, and Cosme. Biotis on his final year without getting extended. I think it's.
I think we have to have.
Why
one
is Coleman
new starter.
not him? Like what the? We'll talk about that sometime.
Yeah.
But like, let's do this in the next couple of weeks. What happened to Coleman this year that didn't happen to Coleman last year? We haven't really gotten into that. We'll figure it out.
He's on the
Coleman.
books. We got
so
him.
many questions
Under contract. No.
Dancing Bear, freakish left tackle starter as a rookie, and can't get on the field as a sophomore. We'll get to it. Bring your opinions, Ken. Bring that crazy.
Come on back with us next Tuesday night. Until then, I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. All. We're still live.
We went late.
It wasn't that late.
I don't feel like we went
We were
late.
25 minutes over. Ken, Kevin, and Tim.
No muff it up, fellas, as do the Redskins.
Thank God it's Tuesday.